Hi there, I'm Katie Sellers.
And I'm Alex Warren.
And this is The Weekly Fix.
Broadcasting live online at Spark Sunderland.
The Weekly Fix will broadcast live online every week at 6 o'clock. Here at Spark, we're exclusively Sunderland, so we'll be bringing you all of the latest news from your local area. Coming up this week, Chancellor George Osborne announced his budget this week, but do Sunderland motorists think he has done enough to combat the high fuel costs?
And I'll be talking to Becky Howes about her makeup blog on YouTube and much, much more.
But first, yesterday, universities and colleges up and down the country were brought to a standstill as lecturers and other staff protested against government cuts and proposed changes to the pension scheme. Tom Waite and Peter Gillen went to find out more.
If you really hate the Tories, clap your hands. If you really hate the Tories, really hate the Tories, really hate the Tories, clap your hands.
Yesterday saw a countrywide series of protests. The University and College Union went out in their thousands to show their objection to government plans regarding cuts. They started outside City Hall in Newcastle before marching down to the monument, where a variety of key figures gave speeches to enthusiastic crowds. We caught up with one speaker who explained what they were fighting for.
What I'm doing here today is obviously supporting all our members in both further education and higher education on what is actually the first day in our history that all of our members have been out on strike on the same day on the same issues.
But it's one thing to protest about something, but what about offering an alternative to what the government is planning to do?
The government should be properly funding education. I think the government should not be making these cuts. I think that these cuts basically are an ideological attack on working people, and it's an excuse to push these cuts through and make ordinary working people pay for the mistakes that have been made.
And if the UCU doesn't get what they want, will they keep on fighting until they do?
We're hoping, that the management and the employers and the government will take notice of the strength of feeling of our members about what their attacks on their job security and their pensions, and that they will come back to the table and negotiate with us a reasonable settlement.
But there's one thing that stood out above all yesterday: solidarity. Students showed up in swathes to show their support for their lecturers.
Pension cuts, no more pension cuts. No more pension cuts, no more pension.
So that we don't sack with staff because we really like the teachers. And we really want to see all the teachers, and we want to do loads of dancing in college, and we just want to keep everyone.
We don't want them to sack with teachers.
A lot of our teachers are
we want to keep Biggie Ben! Yeah. Charlotte, Haley and Josh! Josh! It's Steve!
So, many people turned up showing their support for lecturers and students alike. But only time will tell whether or not their protests were heard. Tom Waite.
For more on this story, head on over to sparksunderland.com for that and other news stories by our team of journalists. You can also find out more about Spark magazine. The 2011 budget was announced this week by Chancellor George Osborne. In recent months, the price of fuel has continued to increase to record levels, and motorists are really starting to feel the pinch. So what help could the Chancellor offer this week? Sam Willey has been out and about to find out more.
Motorists across the UK certainly don't welcome any further rise in fuel costs. All will hope that prices like these become a thing of the past. On Wednesday, George Osborne set out his budget, and fuel was very high on the agenda. He announced that a planned inflation rise in fuel duty due in April has been delayed until 2012. The Chancellor also cut fuel prices by 1 penny per litre from 6 p.m. on Wednesday. But motorists were far from convinced, saying that the increase in VAT a few months ago added 3 pence onto the cost. Yet only 1 penny was taken off on Wednesday. An annual 1p above inflation fuel escalator has also been scrapped until 2015. Here is what some motorists in Sunderland had to say.
I think it's a joke. Put the VAT up 20% and they've dropped it a penny, so nobody benefits but them, do they?
Hasn't achieved anything. They put the price up before they even dropped it, so it hasn't. They'll not achieve anything at all. The oil companies will just take their prices a bit higher. That nullifies it, so it hasn't achieved anything at all.
21 pence, but the point is, it's going to rise 3 pence or something, so you're saving a little bit, but how long for, I don't know.
So for now, record fuel prices are continuing to have an effect on our bank balance. This is Sam Willie, have an effect on our bank balance.
With fuel prices being at such a record high, a new method to save money is always going to be welcome. Stuart Birch has been to find out how you could reduce the effect on your pocket.
In 2011, we've got pay-as-you-go mobile phones, pay-as-you-go electricity, but how about pay-as-you-go car insurance? The cooperative group are now offering insurance based on the driving habits of 17 to 25-year-olds. The insurance brokers will attach a black box to your car that will monitor your driving behaviour. Young drivers could save up to £328 on their premiums due to the black box being installed in their car. Conor O'Neill, a learner driver, explains how this scheme wouldn't appeal to him.
As a learner driver, I don't think this new insurance scheme would appeal to me, because in your first couple of years of driving, it's only natural that you're going to make mistakes, and it takes you a while to get used to real life driving conditions. And I think for your insurance to be based on that, it just wouldn't work. I do think it's a good scheme though, and I think that it would really work for experienced drivers or people who don't drive a lot on the roads.
Ian Goodfellow, a driving instructor from clickdriving.net, believes that this new scheme will encourage safe driving among young people in the area.
I think it's like a win-win situation for the young drivers, because they not only do they get the driving monitored, so they have to behave themselves and drive correctly and therefore safely, but they can also save a few pounds on the insurance as well. But there is the big brother element of having like the spy in the car, so the black box will tell them if they're driving too fast or driving too quick and exceeding speed limits, so there is that element of big brother watching them.
With young people struggling financially at the moment, this scheme could save them money for driving safely, which could lead to fewer deaths on our roads. I'm Stuart Birch, reporting for Spark TV.
Thanks, Stuart. If you have a story that you'd like to have featured on Spark, then get in touch. The details are on the screen right now. It's now time to head over to our talk tank, where Alex Warren is getting a few makeup tips just in time for getting down this Friday.
Hi, I'm here with Becky Howes. Welcome to Spark. I'm going to be talking to her about, makeup blog. So I heard you were approached by the Sunderland Echo recently. What was that all about?
Well, it was my mum who emailed them, and when I saw the article in the newspaper, I actually screamed. And I was in the shop when I bought the newspaper, and a guy was behind us, and by this point I'd burst into tears because I was so shocked to see myself in the newspaper. And he was like, "Is that you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I thought I'd seen your face somewhere before." And I was just in shock. I couldn't even find the words to say like, "Oh, thank you."
How long have you been doing it?
It's coming up 2 years next week, and I haven't quite decided what I want to do for my 2-year anniversary yet, but I'm sure I'll think of something like a contest or maybe something like that. I don't know yet.
And why did you start doing it? I mean, is it like a hobby that you had?
Well, I was just into makeup really. I was watching other gurus on YouTube at the time, like some of my favourites, Lauren Luke and this girl from America called X Sparkage, and they were like really inspiring to us, and I thought, well, if they can do it, why can't I do it? But I never thought it would ever like really take off. So it has, and I'm like, what?
So what other tips do you give? I mean, I know you do makeup. Do you give things, what other things do you do?
Yeah, I mostly do makeup, but I also do some hair videos. nails, fashion, skincare, and I've started doing some videos about self-confidence, and I asked people to send us a message with some like issues that they might want to talk about that I might understand, or if they just want to get something off the chest.
Right.
And the response I've had is amazing, because I never thought people would open up to us like that. And I just can't believe people trust us that much to tell us things.
And how many subscribers do you have?
I've got about 3,600 at the minute.
And you've been approached by Maybelline and Max Factor. Has that surprised you? Only after 2 years of setting it up.
I know, it's really shocking. Like, I never thought this would happen to me in a million years ever.
That's great. And if people wanted to, get in touch with you or follow what you work, how would they do that?
Well, my YouTube link is youtube.com/Becky's blog, so that's pretty simple to remember. My Twitter is twitter.com/xbextasyx, and on there I post like more things than I do on my makeup channel.
Okay, and if you had to get makeup tips from one celebrity, which one would it be?
It would be, well, there's three. I like Lady Gaga, Hayley Williams and Rihanna, because the makeup looks they have are really bright and my style.
Oh, that's brilliant. Okay. It's back to the studio with Katie. That's all we've got time for here in the Talk Tank.
Loving those makeup tips, Becky? That's all for tonight, and don't forget, if you've missed any of this evening's Weekly Fix, you'll be able to catch up online. So, until next time, why not keep in touch with Spark? Remember, we're available on 107 Spark FM and online at sparksunderland.com. I'm Katie Sellers, and we're exclusively Sunderland, and I hope that you're getting down on Friday. I sure will be.